Cable rolling. Is it a myth? Does changing cable brings noticeable change in the performance of an in-ear monitor? Today we are going to find it out. Hey guys, this is Pulkit and you guys are watching me on Gadget Generations YouTube channel. Today I'm going to cover a very premium quality IM upgrade cable, which is the Zikman Tiber. It's a handcrafted cable crafted by Zikman Audio, a premium handcraft brand that specializes in handcrafted IM upgrade cables based out of Austria, which is in Europe, by the way. So yeah, this cable retails for 499 euros and features high purity copper 7 and copper plus silver material wire conductors, and it has an 8-strand configuration. The cable has excellent build quality, it sounds excellent, and today we are going to cover everything related to it, and also we are going to share a comparison with another premium cable from a well-renowned name into the industry, basically into the cable industry. So make sure you guys stay with me till the very end of this video because I'm going to cover everything about the cable, and we will begin with the design and aesthetics of the cable. So let's not waste any more time and begin the video. So talking about the overall design and build quality and aesthetics of the Zikman Tiber, I would say I'm mighty impressed with what Zikman has crafted here for me, because the cable, well, it's really excellent in terms of build quality. It has a little bit of heft to it, but it is not heavy percent, does not drag the IMs down from my ears. Moreover, the cable has 8-strand configuration, and first of all, I am mighty impressed because at the first glance, when I received the cable and I unboxed it, I could not believe my eyes that this is a hand woven cable, because the entire weaving of the cable is very precise and very tight, I would say. It is not loose from any part. It literally looks like a machine woven cable, but the brand has specifically told me that this is a handcrafted cable and properly hand woven across the lineup, basically. So yeah, very good and very impressive build quality, not too heavy either. Now let's talk about the different elements into the cable. First of all, the connectors, they are easily replaceable. You get to unscrew the current connectors using the screwdriver which is included into the package. The screw location is right up towards the right up to the connector. Like the placement is just above the connectors which are onto there. Moreover, Zikman also offers you customizability. Like this one comes with 2-pin connectors, but you guys can actually choose the type of connectors that you guys want. At the time of purchase, Zikman website offers different connector options you guys can choose, and similarly they also offer the similar thing for the termination plug as well. Like this one, I have the 4.4 mm termination, but you guys can choose between 4.4, 2.5 or 3.5 mm. Again, available onto their website, the customization option. Next, we have this really tight memory hook. I do not have any issues with these, but I have noticed that some people do not like memory hooks. So in case you guys don't like it, you guys should shoot them a message and then talk to them about it. Now comes the most interesting part of it. I was talking to Zikman people, Mr. Simon is there, and he was regularly telling me about the story behind the Tiber, everything about it. But one thing really stood out for me. You guys know, every time whenever we replace a cable, we already get confused where is the right side and where is the left side, and then we search for either R or L denoted onto the sides, or maybe red dot onto the right or blue dot onto the left side. Zikman has taken a different approach here. What they have done is, onto the right side connector, they have given this beveled kind of ring kind of pattern onto the connector shelling above the connector. So we have this metal casing around above the connector, and onto the right side we have this beveled kind of thing, so which just directly denotes that this is the right side. So I do not have to look for right or left anytime I'm changing the cable for my IMs. I can just simply touch the casing above it and I can actually realize, yes, this is the right side, since this one has the beveled area, while the left side has a clean and complete approach. So no, this is really unique, and I like this thing that they have done this, because it is really hard sometimes to search for the small dot or to search for the R or L denoted onto the side. Similarly, we have this really beautifully crafted Y splitter onto the cable. It is the only thing that I think gives the cable a bit of weight. It is entirely metallic and has the Zikman logo into the center and looks like a piece of art, basically a very artistic appeal it gives to the cable, and it actually gives the entire cable a weight. This is probably the heaviest component into the entire cable, in my opinion. So yeah, very much impressed with the design and build quality. The overall aesthetics, the overall feel of the keyboard of the cable is really nice, and the weight is not much, so it doesn't drag the cable, the connected earphones down my ears either. Now about the sound quality, well, I know that there are different people and they have different opinions related to whether cables matter or they don't. In my opinion, I have experienced different cables, and I think that I personally believe that they bring a noticeable change into the IEMs. For this cable, I have actually tried it with 3 different IEMs, and then I'm going to share about what changes I noticed with these 3 IEMs, and I have chosen them very precisely, and I'm going to tell you why so. First IEM is going to be 7th Acoustics Supernova because it has really good vocals, it has a bit of warmth to the sound profile. Second IEM is going to be Letshuoer Mystic because it is neutral in nature and has a hint of very slight hint of brightness up top. And third one is the Nostalgia Camelot, which is a very well balanced 3 frequency IEM. So you guys know that you guys see what I have done here. I am going to cover the IEM recommendations. I am cable combination with about 3 different IEMs with 3 different sound signatures available at 3 different price points. So let's get on to that section now. We will be starting with the 7th Acoustics Supernova and Zikman Tiber combo. So let's begin. First combination is 7th Acoustics Supernova, one of my adorable and most adorable IEMs under $1,000, which I absolutely love for its rich vocals and smooth and musical sound presentation across the frequency band. What does the Zikman Tiber does to its signature? Well, I would say that Zikman Tiber adds a bit of more punch and a bit of more rumble into the sub-bass section of the Supernova while maintaining tight control into the mid-bass section. Yes, I find it to be having a bit better control into the mid-bass and the overall lower end compared to the stock copper cable of the Supernova. Next, the mid-range. The mid-range richness is still retained. I don't notice much of a change into the mid-range section with the Zikman Tiber. It still maintains that richness into the vocals and still has that clarity and musical nature for different instruments. The timbre is really good and really on point with this cable and Supernova combination. Next, the treble. I hear a bit of better excitement, a bit of better presentation, a bit of better boost into the extensions part for the treble region with the Zikman Tiber connected to the Supernova. So in my overall experience with this IM and these two have a very good combination together. Why so? Because it still retains the original characteristic, the original musical nature of the Supernova, the original rich vocals of the Supernova, while adding a bit more sub-bass extension and a bit more extension into the treble region, which is something that makes it sounds better in every possible way. Now on to the next combination, which is going to be the Zikman Tiber and the Mystic, a neutral to slightly bright IM when paired with the Zikman Tiber. So let's begin on to that part now. Mystic, an IM highly regarded for its neutral nature, and well, it is simply one of the best IMs that one can grab for $1,000 into the international market today. How does it pair with the Zikman Tiber? Well, the combination, as expected by me, as the experience with the Supernova has been. So I hear a bit more detail extension into the sub-bass section while the mid-bass gets tighter control. With the stock cable, the Mystic has a very neutral to slightly bright sound profile, and it gets a bit of warmth, not a lot of warmth, just a bit of warmth to which produces a bit more rumble into the output and a bit more punchiness into the output, while the mid-range still maintains the neutral and natural character. I would say Supernova sounds more rich when combined with the Tiber. The Mystic sounds slightly rumbling and has still maintains the neutral character into the mid-range. Treble region, however, it gets a bit more bright when compared with the stock cable. I hear a bit better extensions, but again the instrument notes are also getting crispier, and the overall feel of the Mystic with the Tiber cable gets a bit brighter when combined with the Tiber cable. So yeah, that is the experience with the Mystic. In my opinion, Mystic sounds slightly better with its stock cable since it maintains that neutral to slightly bright signature, while the Tiber adds a bit more bass extensions onto the set. It adds a bit more treble to it, and it makes it sound a bit more brighter in comparison. So I liked it more with the Supernova compared to with the Mystic. Now let's get on to the flagship IEM, the third, the most balanced IEM, the Nostalgia Camelot. So let's begin on to that one now. Nostalgia Camelot has been my personal endgame for so long now, and I absolutely love that IEM, especially when paired with its flagship Lancelot cable. How does the Tiber brings a noticeable change? First of all, again, the overall impression is still the same. I hear a bit more richness added to the output thanks to the added sub bass extension and the tighter control into the mid-range section, into the mid-bass section. While the with the Tiber cable, the mid-range section still remains the same. I hear a bit more excitement added onto its treble region. The combination, the overall synergy of Tiber cable with the Nostalgia Camelot is really nice and very well executed, in my opinion. It adds a bit more character to the overall sound output of the Camelot. Camelot has a very smooth and soothing sound profile. With the Tiber, we still have that character into the mid range with added punch into the lower end and with slight bit of more excitement. And I personally would say that the overall feel and the overall experience of the Nostalgia Camelot with the Tiber cable has been nothing less what I have experienced with its Lancelot cable, that is like 1300 USD. So the overall feel is really good and really nice and really comparable to that level. I would still say that Lancelot tends to bring a bit more character to the overall feel of the Nostalgia Camelot. This one just have a slight bit of more extension into the sub bass section, but the overall experience has been really nice. Now I would just summarize these outputs into the final section, where I will be sharing a very short comparison with the Effect Audio Fusion 1 cable as well. So, overall, for my friends who believe in cable rolling, who believe that cable is going to bring a change, I would say that I have noticed that the Zikman Tiber is nothing short of exceptional cable, everything in terms of design, everything in terms of sound quality as well. In terms of proper sound definition, I would say that I have noticed that the cable tends to add a bit of richness to the output, adds a bit of excitement to the output. How so? First of all, majorly, I noticed that the cable adds a bit of more extension into the sub bass section, producing more rumble and giving you a more sensational presentation while bringing a tighter control into the mid bass section. It still retains the original character of the mid range for the connected earphones, and at the same time, we get a bit more excitement into the treble region, overall, giving you a more resolving and more cleaner picture for the sound presentation. Now let's move ahead and I will be comparing it with the Effect Audio Fusion 1 into the next section. So first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Jitesh Jumani, who is a good friend of mine, who lent his unit of Fusion 1 to me for the purpose of this comparison with the Zikman Tiber cable. Aesthetically, I would say that the Zikman Tiber has more soft soft presentation. The cable is more soft to touch, and it doesn't have too much of a memory apart from these memory hooks, which are really onto the stiff part. But yeah, so but Fusion 1 has a bit of memory to itself. The cables are thick, they have two strand configuration, but each strand is thicker and has bigger diameter cables, so it has a bit of heft to it as well. The cable is heavier when I compare it with the Zikman Tiber. Again, it also doesn't drag the IEMs down my ears, but still has a bit more heft to it. So if you don't like thick cables, you won't be aesthetically appealed by the Fusion 1's presentation. Okay, it's time for talking about the sonics between the Fusion 1 and the Zikman Tiber. Both are really excellent cables. However, there is a huge price difference between them. The Fusion 1 retails for 999 USD, while the Zikman Tiber is available for 600 USD. In my opinion, the Fusion 1 has more forwarded nature. It sounds closer to me when I used this cable with the three IEMs that I have mentioned. The overall sound image was very much closer to me. Like let's just talk about the Supernova. Why I love the Supernova with the Tiber cable? Because Supernova, I personally love the time for its excellent mid-range, the rich mid-range presentation, and the Tiber cable doesn't touch that. It provides you with that as it is, while improving the bass and the treble regions. However, Fusion One affects the mid-range as well, and it provides a bit forwarded presentation, not a bit, a lot forwarded presentation. So the overall sound image comes closer to me, and I don't actually get that kind of connection with the Fusion One. However, I would say that Fusion One tends to sound more clear. It has a bit more resolution compared to the Zikman Tiber. However, Tiber is not too less into that regard as well. But next part with the Mysticate, I would say that the forwarded nature doesn't suit that IM either, because the brightness is slightly more improved, slightly more increased, and I could not stand this combination at all. So I do not like the Fusion One with the Mysticate at all. However, with the Zikman Tiber, it was tolerable but still bright. And like I mentioned, I did not like that combination either, first of all. Next up, the Camelot. Camelot, well, I would say that I personally like it more with the Zikman Tiber. However, it sounds more resolving and a bit more clearer compared to the onto the Fusion One. But the smoothness, the overall feel of that IM, the Camelot has that character, has that smoothness, overall feel of it, which is retained by the Zikman Tiber, in my opinion. The Fusion One sounds more energetic and more lively, which doesn't align with my personal combination and personal liking with it. I would then pick up the Zikman Tiber onto it. Well, that's about it. That's everything about the Zikman Tiber, and also about the Fusion One in today's video. I hope you guys enjoy watching today's video. If you guys want to purchase anything from Zikman, they are easily accessible. I will be adding their link to their website onto the description section below. Their cables start from something like 200 USD, and they go something like 700 800 USD at the max. With the that is some addition for the Tiber only. Tiber is currently their sub flagship pricing, priced at 500 euros, roughly 600 USD, which is like 50,000 Indian rupees. Well, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. Don't forget to leave me a like, and if you guys are new here, kindly consider subscribing to my channel as well. To my Indian friends who would like to watch my videos, I have made a new channel which is in Hindi language. It is Gadget Gen X. I am also adding its link into the description section below, so you guys can go and follow me onto that channel as well. One thing to note here is that that channel is not going to be limited only to the audiophile gear. It is going to cover everything related to tech that I can get my hands on, and that seems interesting to me. So stay tuned with me onto that channel as well, and I hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget to leave me a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.